For the soon-to-be 90-year anniversary of World War III being a week away from being a week away, I thought that I'd talk about one of my favorite things in the entire world, which is Fed slop. You will grow to understand the elusive nature of Fed slop as this video goes on. But to give you the cliff notes, Fed slop is the strategy, which despite the name doesn't always implicate the government or politics, of using the fear of the future and the intangible nature of it in order to emotionally provocate and hook you into either supporting a candidate, buying a product, or in general, just wasting your life away. Let's start with a couple that we see in the modern day. Let's get one thing straight. AI will not end humanity. Humanity is going to end humanity. Now, whether you think AI will be the last domino to fall for mutually assured destruction on a global scale is up to you. But AI is not built to do anything except follow logic and make predictions. And one of the primary methods of training AIs is with RLHF, aka Reinforcement Learning from Human Feedback, which is essentially AI's got talent. Or I guess in this case, AI's got empathy. So if you're looking to get into the translation or the accounting field, I got some bad news for you. Jobs that involve little nuance are going to be the ones first on the chopping block. But if you are or looking to be in fields that involve emotional intelligence and complex decision making, like therapy, certain medical fields, or teaching, or drug dealing, all four of these are pretty safe from AI. Skid Row has never looked more livable. And another thing I'd like to tackle, AI is not going to cause a water shortage. Look, water cooling sucks. It fucking sucks. But what do you think Google uses? Or Instagram? Or any tech company that has to respond to queries? Look, their whole playbook has been to set up data centers in the middle of towns that people live in, which hikes up the electricity prices for people who didn't want a fucking data center in their hometown. They take resources from this town, so not only are you paying more for electricity, you're also getting less water. There's really no need to lie about how shit and manipulative this practice is. Remember, the true problem is that companies are built with the intention to make products. No one said they had to be good or moral ones. LLMs should have never been published for commercial use so early. But look, the profit margins, they always have the final say. Look, man, dating has always been tough. Just with the expansion of the internet, sadly, the worst people you would ever know suddenly felt confident enough to enact their freedom of speech. Back in my day, these were the same guys that filled the coal mines. Now they own podcasting equipment and berate people who are marginally less intelligent than they are. Let's start with the stereotypes. Firstly, anything related to debates on gender roles, like what makes a real man or what makes a real woman. Call me woke if you want, but I'll say this right here and right now. They're all completely vapid, okay? The whole structure of these debates are pseudoscientific in nature, and they focus more on rhetoric and getting the right person in front of the camera rather than reaching anything resembling common ground. You also have to come to terms with something. Before you cast judgment on an entire part of the human species due to a couple of annoying people, ask yourself, would you even want to date the person that's making you feel this way in the first place? If no, then why are you taking what they're saying seriously? You need to understand that there's a clear difference between people who want a connection and people who want an opportunity. And the girls that go on shows like this, they just want an opportunity. They'll spend a day most with these guys and forget about them a week later. A study done by Pew Research found the following. 33% of single people state that social media makes them feel worse about their romantic life. Younger adults have begun to feel more and more like social media is an important way to show love to their partner. 1/4 of partnered Americans say that their partner's social media usage has made them feel jealous and insecure about their relationship. And women are about twice as likely to get annoyed by a partner glued to their phone than by video games. Which means my hundreds of hours in Metaphor ReFantazio might finally be useful. This should go to show you that what you're hearing is not advice from people who want to help you. It's content from people who want your money, your attention, and your insecurity. Because insecurity sells. Good news, you won't. This whole video has been inspired by the recent going-ons in Iran. And while I won't claim to know anything about what's currently going on, I can tell you one thing, which is almost a guarantee. There will not be a World War III. Trust me, a guy like me, I won't let it happen. In fact, I am so confident that there will never be a full-scale world war that if there is anything resembling the previous two, I will take over a small island brutally, institute myself as supreme ruler, and declare war on every other developed nation in retaliation. World War III, even in theory, has something no other war before had, except for the very end of World War II, and that is nukes. This alone completely eviscerates the need for an army in a full-scale war. Because what's the point of deploying troops if with one strike, entire platoons would be out of commission? This is why proxy wars are the new meta. Think of Vietnam. This is what war will look like for the foreseeable future. And you have to consider some things. There is over 1 million active duty personnel in the United States military, and that's not including veterans. If there was a war, it would need a purge level event to even start talking about a draft. And given the reactions of Vietnam, it would be political suicide. There are so many hurdles that need to be cleared, and in over 90 years, despite everyone's best efforts, World War III has never come to pass. And, would you check the time? In conclusion, SpongeBob, remember this. FED is an acronym that stands for Fucking Everything's Depressing. People will sell you ideas of the future, and they'll have no better idea of what it's going to look like than you do, regardless of how much experience they may have. Even people who sell you ideas of the present have no clue either. Except for me, because my channel's the best. If you want more great content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, or I'm going to bomb your house.